Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a quiet epidemic that is keeping millions of hardworking, high-earning people completely broke. It's the phenomenon of being fake rich. If you look around today, society is wealthier than it has ever been. People are driving cleaner cars, carrying nicer bags, living in larger homes, and posting vacations that look like luxury travel commercials. But if you peel back the layers and look at the actual balance sheets of the modern middle class, you find an entirely different reality. You find stress. You find massive debt. You find people who are exactly one missed paycheck away from complete financial ruin. There is a massive difference between looking rich and actually being wealthy. Looking rich is incredibly easy. Anyone with a decent credit score can walk onto a luxury car lot, sign their life away for the next 84 months, and drive off looking like a millionaire. But actually being wealthy? That requires discipline, strategy, and the willingness to opt out of the consumer games that everyone else is playing. The truth is, the middle class isn't staying broke just because inflation is high or wages are stagnant, though those are real challenges. A huge part of the problem is a specific set of cultural habits. We've been conditioned to mimic the lifestyles of the wealthy before we actually have the wealth to support it. We are buying the trophies of success before we've actually won the race. Over the next 25 minutes, we are going to break down the exact fake rich habits that act as an invisible tax on your financial freedom. We'll look at the math, the psychology, and the hidden traps that keep people trapped in the matrix of working a job they might not love just to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. By the end of this video, you won't just see these traps clearly. You'll know exactly how to break free from them so you can start building real, permanent wealth. Let's dive in. Habit 1. The illusion of affordable monthly payments. Let's start with the absolute foundation of the fake rich lifestyle. The obsession with monthly payments instead of total cost. If you want to know how the financial industry keeps the middle class broke, look no further than how products are priced today. Walk into an auto dealership, look at a new smartphone online, or browse a furniture store. You will rarely see the actual price tag displayed prominently. Instead, you'll see a small, incredibly appealing number. Only $349 a month. Just $25 a week. Buy now, pay later in 4 easy installments. This is a psychological trap called financing anchoring. The human brain is wired to evaluate risk based on immediate impact. When we see a $70,000 price tag on a SUV, a red flag goes off in our mind. We know we don't have $70,000 lying around. But when a salesperson says, "Don't worry about the total price, we can get your payment down to $700 a month," the red flag disappears. Our brain says, "I make $5,000 a month. I can definitely afford $700. When you buy things based on the monthly payment, you are effectively renting your lifestyle from banks and financing companies. You stop owning things, and your cash flow starts belonging to everyone else. Think about the math on this. If you finance a car over 7 years just to keep the payment low, you are paying thousands of dollars in interest on an asset that is rapidly losing value every single day. You are literally paying extra money for the privilege of watching your wealth evaporate. The fake rich use monthly payments to artificially inflate their lifestyle. They look at their income and ask, "How many payments can I squeeze out of this check?" They stack up a car payment, a couch payment, a premium gym membership, a financed vacation, and 5 different software subscriptions. On paper, they live in luxury. In reality, their net worth is 0, or worse, deeply negative. Real wealth is built by looking at the total cost of ownership and the opportunity cost of your money. Every dollar you lock up in a monthly payment to a bank is a dollar that cannot be invested in assets that pay you money. If you want to get rich, you have to stop asking, "Can I afford the payment?" and start asking, "What is this item actually costing my future self?" Habit 2. Lifestyle creep. The "I deserve it" trap. The second habit keeping the middle class broke is lifestyle creep. also known as lifestyle inflation. This is what happens when your income goes up, but your savings rate stays exactly the same, or decreases. Think about a standard career trajectory. You graduate college or start your first entry-level job making $40,000 a year. You live with a roommate, drive an old beat-up sedan, eat cheap meals, and you manage to survive. A few years later, you get a promotion. Now you're making $70,000. Then a few years later, you're making $100,000. Logically, if you could survive on $40,000, making $100,000 should mean you are saving $60,000 a year, right? You should be getting wealthy incredibly fast. But that almost never happens. What actually happens is that as the income grows, the apartment becomes a luxury condo. The beat-up sedan becomes an entry-level German luxury car. The casual dinners turn into high-end sushi spots and organic grocery stores. We justify this to ourselves using the most dangerous phrase in personal finance. I work hard, I deserve this. Look, it's completely natural to want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But the fake rich use professional success as a license to overspend. They mistake a high income for high wealth. Income is just the fuel. Wealth is the engine you build with it. If you burn all your fuel the second it hits the tank, you will never build an engine that runs on its own. The trap of lifestyle creep is that it raises your baseline of happiness. When luxury becomes a necessity, you lose your financial flexibility. If you are making $200,000 a year but your lifestyle requires $190,000 to maintain, you are just as fragile as someone making $40,000 who spends $39,000. You are trapped in a golden cage. You can't take a career risk, you can't start a business, and you can't retire early because your monthly expenses are a monster that constantly needs to be fed. To build real wealth, you have to practice inverted lifestyle inflation. When you get a raise or a bonus, don't celebrate by upgrading your lifestyle. Celebrate by upgrading your automatic investments. If you get a $10,000 raise, take $8,000 of it and route it directly into your brokerage account or retirement fund before it ever touches your checking account. Let your lifestyle lag significantly behind your earning power. That is how true wealth is built. Habit 3. Funding a luxury lifestyle with high-interest debt. This brings us to the third, and perhaps most destructive habit. Using credit cards and consumer debt to fund a lifestyle you haven't earned yet. There is a massive psychological difference between how the genuinely wealthy use credit and how the fake rich use credit. Wealthy people use debt as a tool to leverage investments, buy real estate, or scale businesses, assets that generate more income than the cost of the debt itself. The fake rich use debt to consume. They use credit cards to buy designer clothes, expensive dinners, weekend trips, and status symbols. Let's look at the brutal reality of credit card debt. Right now, the average credit card interest rate is hovering at historical highs, well over 20%. If you carry a balance on a credit card at 25% interest to buy a $2,000 designer bag, that bag doesn't cost $2,000. If you only pay the minimums, that bag will end up costing you $4,000, $5,000, or $6,000 by the time you pay it off. You are essentially voluntarily paying a massive premium on luxury goods just so you can look wealthy today instead of actually being wealthy tomorrow. It is financial insanity, yet it is completely normalized in modern society. The fake rich view credit cards as an extension of their income. If their limit is $10,000, they feel like they have $10,000 to spend. They live in a cycle of gratification today and panic tomorrow. They use next month's income to pay off last month's pleasures, leaving them completely exposed to the present. If you want to be wealthy, you have to draw a hard line in the sand. You never, under any circumstances, carry a balance on a consumer credit card. If you cannot afford to pay for a luxury item in cash today, you cannot afford it. Period. Credit cards should be treated like a debit card, a convenient tool for points and security, paid in full every single month. If you are paying a bank interest to wear a brand name, you aren't rich. You're just a highly profitable customer for Visa and MasterCard. Habit 4. The fragility of upgrading essential assets too quickly. The fourth habit is one that sounds sensible on the surface but is secretly draining the middle class of their investing power. Upgrading essential assets far too early in their financial journey. What are essential assets? Your home and your primary vehicle. These are things you genuinely need to live a functional life. You need a safe place to sleep, and you need a reliable way to get to work. Because these are necessities, it is very easy to rationalize spending way too much money on them. Let's talk about cars first. The average new car payment in America has climbed to staggering heights, with many people paying over $700 a month for a vehicle. The fake rich habit here is trading in a perfectly good, reliable, paid-off car the moment it hits 4 or 5 years old because they want the newer tech, the fresher styling, or the social status of a new license plate. They view cars not as transportation, but as a rolling statement of their net worth. The math here is devastating. A car is a depreciating asset. It loses roughly 60% of its value in the first 5 years. When you stay trapped in a perpetual cycle of car loans, you are continuously trading your hard-earned cash for an asset that is actively rotting away in your driveway. The same thing happens with housing. The moment a middle-class couple starts earning good money, they often jump straight into the maximum mortgage a bank will approve them for. They buy the 5-bedroom suburban house with the massive yard, even if they only have one child. They convince themselves it's a good investment. While real estate can be an excellent long-term wealth builder, your primary residence is a heavily leveraged consumption item first and an investment second. A larger home means higher property taxes, higher utility bills, more furniture to buy, and massive maintenance costs. When you overallocate your income to a massive mortgage and a luxury car loan, you become house poor and car poor. You look incredibly successful to your neighbors, but your bank account is a desert. You have zero liquidity. You have no money left over at the end of the month to invest in the stock market, buy cash-flowing real estate, or invest in your own education. You have locked up your entire financial future in concrete and steel and 4 wheels. Habit 5. Spending big money on invisible assets and flex culture. Our fifth habit revolves around the modern phenomenon of flex culture, specifically spending immense amounts of money on things that provide zero long-term value, but high immediate social signaling. In the past, luxury was reserved for high-net-worth individuals because it was expensive to access. Today, the luxury market has democratized itself to target the middle class. Think about things like VIP bottle service at nightclubs, premium music festival passes, artisanal coffee rituals, $5 a day energy drinks, upscale gym memberships, and frequent dinners at trendy restaurants where the food is mediocre, but the lighting is perfect for an Instagram post. This is what I call the micro-flex habit. It's not just about the big purchases like a house or a car. It's about a daily, weekly drip of premium spending designed to make you feel like you are living an elite lifestyle. When you add up these invisible assets, the numbers are shocking. A person who buys a $7 coffee every morning, eats out for lunch 4 times a week, goes out for premium cocktails on the weekend, and maintains 3 different luxury wellness subscriptions can easily spend $1,000 to $1,500 a month on pure lifestyle maintenance. Over a decade, that is over $150,000 of raw capital. If that money had been automatically funneled into a low-cost index fund compounding at an average of 8 to 10%, it would transform into a massive financial safety net. But instead, it was spent on experiences that vanished the moment they were consumed. The fake rich prioritize the feeling of wealth over the reality of wealth. They want the high-end experience today because it makes them feel successful right now. They use spending as the emotional band-aid for professional stress. I work a stressful job, so I need this expensive weekend getaway to unwind. It becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. You work hard to earn money. You spend the money to cope with the hard work. And because you spent the money, You have to keep working the stressful job. Real wealth is quiet. Real wealth doesn't care about flexing on social media. The truly wealthy are often surprisingly low-key because they don't derive their self-worth from the brands they wear or the venues they frequent. They derive their security from the size of their asset base and the freedom it provides. Habit 6. Mimicking the rich instead of the wealthy. This leads us to a crucial conceptual distinction that almost the entire middle class gets wrong: the habit of mimicking the rich instead of mimicking the wealthy. These two words are often used interchangeably, but in personal finance, they mean completely opposite things. Rich refers to current income. A person who makes $500,000 a year is rich. They have a high cash flow, and they have the capacity to spend a lot of money right now. Wealthy, however, refers to net worth and time. Wealth is measured in how many days, months, or years you could survive if you stopped working right now. Wealth is the accumulation of assets that generate passive income. The fake rich habit is looking at high-income earners, professional athletes, successful influencers, top-tier executives, and copying their consumption habits. We see a celebrity wearing a certain brand of watch or driving a certain car, and we think, if I buy that watch or that car, I am adopting a successful lifestyle. But here is the secret. Many high-income, rich people are actually financially broke. They are running on a high-speed treadmill. If an executive making $500,000 spends $490,000 a year on their lifestyle, they are one corporate restructuring away from bankruptcy. They are not wealthy. If you want to be free, you have to stop copying the consumption of the rich and start copying the production of the wealthy. What do the genuinely wealthy do? They buy assets first and luxuries last. They build businesses, they accumulate stocks, they buy real estate, they retain cash reserves. They wait until their assets generate enough passive income to pay for their luxuries. If a wealthy person wants a $100,000 car, they don't buy it with their salary. They buy a cash-flowing asset, and they use the distributions from that asset to cover the car payment. The asset pays for the toy, and at the end of the day, they still own the asset. The middle class does the exact opposite. They use their active income, their physical time and labor, to buy toys that depreciate to zero, leaving them with nothing but bills and an ongoing dependence on their employer. Habit 7. Neglecting the foundation, emergency funds, and insurance. The final habit that keeps the fake rich middle class broke is a complete and utter neglect of financial foundations, specifically emergency funds and proper risk management. When you are focused entirely on looking rich, building a boring emergency fund feels like a waste of money. Why let $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 sit in a boring, high-yield savings account, earning a few percent when you could use that cash as a down payment on a boat, a better car, or a luxury vacation? Capital sitting in cash feels lazy to the fake rich mind. Because of this mindset, the middle class is shockingly fragile. Study after study shows that a massive percentage of adults cannot handle a sudden $400 emergency without using credit or borrowing from family. Think about how terrifying that is. You can live in a nice neighborhood, have 2 nice cars in the driveway, wear designer clothing, and yet a simple blown transmission or a broken tooth can throw your entire monthly budget into complete chaos. When an emergency inevitably strikes, because life always happens, the fake rich have no choice but to turn to high-interest debt. They put the medical bill or the home repair on a credit card, adding more weight to the debt snowball they are already dragging behind them. Or worse, they are forced to dip into retirement accounts, paying taxes and penalties, destroying decades of future compound interest just to survive a temporary crisis. True wealth is built on a foundation of boring, unsexy safety measures. It's built on having 3 to 6 months of actual living expenses sitting in liquid cash that you never touch. It's built on having proper health insurance, life insurance, and disability insurance so that an unexpected tragedy doesn't wipe out your family's financial future. An emergency fund isn't there to make you rich. It's there to keep you from getting poor. It gives you psychological peace of mind. When you have a solid emergency fund, an unexpected car repair isn't a crisis, it's just an inconvenience. It removes the desperation from your financial life, allowing you to make calm, long-term decisions instead of panicked, short-term moves. Conclusion, NAMP. The Wealth Blueprint. We've covered a lot of ground over the last 25 minutes. We've unmasked the monthly payment trap, exposed the danger of lifestyle creep, analyzed the toxicity of consumer debt, and looked at how upgrading our houses and cars too quickly drains our potential. We've explored the trap of flex culture, the difference between being rich and being wealthy, and the critical importance of a boring financial foundation. If you walked into this video recognizing some of these habits in your own life, I want you to take a deep breath. Do not feel guilty or ashamed. The entire modern consumer economy is designed to make you act this way. Billions of dollars are spent every single year on advanced psychological marketing intended to make you feel inadequate unless you are constantly buying, upgrading, and showing off. You are fighting an uphill battle against a system that wants you broke, dependent, and consuming. But the moment you become aware of the game, you gain the power to stop playing it. Breaking free from the fake rich trap requires a shift in identity. You have to stop evaluating your worth based on what you show the world and start evaluating your success based on your financial freedom. True wealth isn't a car, a watch, or a designer label. True wealth is options. It is the ability to wake up in the morning and decide exactly what you want to do with your day. It is the freedom to leave a toxic job, to start a passion project, to travel without a credit card bill waiting for you at home, and to provide generational security for the people you love. Here is your immediate blueprint to transition from fake rich to genuinely wealthy. First, audit your accounts tonight. Total up every single monthly payment you have and look at your total debt balance with absolute honesty. Second, set up a hard barrier against lifestyle creep. The next time your income goes up, automatically route 80% of that increase into investments before you ever have a chance to spend it. Third, commit to the rule of total cost. If you can't pay cash for a depreciating asset, you wait until you can. Stop renting your lifestyle from a bank. Fourth, build your boring foundation. Put away 3 to 6 months of expenses into a high-yield savings account and leave it alone. Let that cash be your armor against the unexpected chaos of life. And finally, change your financial role models. Stop looking at the people who spend money and start looking at the people who accumulate assets. Focus on growing your net worth quietly. Let your bank account be loud and your lifestyle be low-key. If you found value in this breakdown and want to stay on the path to real financial freedom, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. Leave a comment below letting me know which of these 7 habits has been the hardest for you to break, or what steps you're taking today to secure your future. Thank you so much for watching. Keep investing in your freedom, and I will see you in the next video.